All right, for math today, I'm going to do the lesson that it should be up on on the smartboard on the classroom wall, but my smartboard is acting up, so I wanted to do a screencast of it on my laptop. So I'm going to shrink me, and here we are. Let me move over here. So today we're looking at frequency tables, and you may have seen one or two of those in your brain pops from yesterday. But what I want you to take a look at is this is not, first of all, I want to tell you something. This is not a new thing. You guys have been using frequency tables in math since kindergarten. You know how I know? Because I used to teach kindergarten, okay? You have seen frequency tables in your informational texts in reading. You have seen frequency tables in science. So this is not new. We're just kind of learning what they're called is the main thing today. So a frequency table is just a table that uses numbers to record data. So if you look, we have a title. Frequency tables have certain parts, just like an informational text has text features. All right, our text features here are, we have, oh, I thought I could highlight that, but I cannot. We have a title. Do you see the title is favorite outdoor game? We have some information that we can learn from the table. And so they have categories or topics or sections. They can call it lots of different things, but we have our categories here are game type, and then we have the number. And so frequency is just, let's use our context clues to take a look at frequency. Let's use our word parts here. In frequency, I hear the word frequent inside of it, or at least almost inside of it. Have you heard frequent? How frequent do you do that? She doesn't do that very frequently. Okay, so frequency, that's using that same word part of frequent, is talking about how often something happens or how many times somebody does something. Okay, so the specific data that a frequency table is recording, it's recording an amount of how much of something. Okay, so we have so the whole title is favorite outdoor game. So we have the different game types here, and we have the frequency or how many people voted for each thing. All right, so what game was the most popular? That means the most frequent. And that's going to be the largest number, which is 16. So tag was the most popular. Let's see if you can find the least popular. Shout it out. I can't hear you, but I bet a bunch of you said scavenger hunt because that only has 6. So this is pretty easy stuff, right? Like this is not anything new. We're just kind of learning what each part is called and what it means. So let's move on to the next page. There we go. Okay. Students in Alicia's class voted for their favorite ice cream flavor, and they organized the data in a tally table. And we can show the data in a tally table, or we can show it in actual numbers. And so they want us to complete the table below. So I'm going to do that on my screen. I'm going to use text boxes. I think that's going to be easiest for me. So up here we have the different flavors. First of all, what's the title? Do you see how the title's the same? Favorite ice cream flavor, favorite ice cream flavor. And then our categories are almost the same. We have flavors, and then they did tallies. Well, here we're going to do flavors, and instead of tallies, we're just going to write the actual number. So this is giving us the exact same information. We're just representing it with numbers instead of tallies. So how many chose vanilla? 5, 6, 7, okay? So right here, I'm going to write the number 7 and move it up here, okay? Now I need to make my text a little smaller. Let me see how I can, oh, there it is. Right here. There we go, that's better. Okay, so now we're going to do the next category, which is chocolate. I'm pointing to my screen. You can't see what I'm pointing at. I need to use this guy. All right, so we're going to put chocolate here. So we're just copying that part of the table. Okay, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and do strawberry while I'm doing that part, okay? So it should be exactly the same. Vanilla chocolate strawberry, vanilla chocolate strawberry. All right, let's fill out the number. My number here is going to be a lot smaller, and that's okay. So how many chose chocolate? 8, right? Okay, how many chose strawberry? 4. So you can see it's the exact same information. It's just represented in 2 different ways. This one in the frequency table uses actual numbers. In the tally table, it uses tallies. Simple as that. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so they have given us some data and now they want us to make the frequency table. All right, and so I'm going to make one and then I'm going to erase what I did and we're going to look and see what they wanted us to do and we'll see if it turned out to be about the same. So we have some months and we have home runs made by Jose here. So we're going to make a frequency table. The first thing, let's see, I want to make a shape. Oh, I'm not seeing the shape button. Well, come on. That's okay. I'll just draw it. I don't know why I can't find the shape button. Y'all can probably see it and I'm just missing it. Usually there's like a drawing button, but this will work. Not if it's the wrong color though. Okay. So, woo, my lines are hard. I'm drawing with my laptop, so it's going to be a little bit tricky. Okay, now up here, I want to put a title box. Woohoo. And I also want to do my categories, okay? And then a line down the middle. Let's just pretend like those lines are straight, yeah? Okay, so the title is going to be, let's make it a little bigger than that. Our title here, what should we call it? I'm thinking monthly home runs. And actually, it says it's a certain person's home runs, so I might actually say Jose's monthly home runs. What do you think? And notice since it's a title, I capitalize the first letter of each important word, just like we would for a book. Okay, now for our categories, what do you think we should put? I'm going to go with the month on this side. Usually you want to put, hang on, and then the number of home runs on this side. Normally you want to put like the numbers on this side and then the other category on this side, okay? So just pretend like the line isn't messing those up, but you can see what I'm going for, right? And so let's do this. Let's go. That's going to be for April, May, June, July. We're going to have to squeeze August and September right there. August and September. May, June, July, August, September. Perfect-ish. Okay, so we're going to put the months on this side, and I would put them in order if I were you. I think mixing up the order would be pretty confusing. So I'll put April here, May here. Pay attention to how we do this because I'm going to have you make your own frequency table when we're finished. July. Only your lines, I bet, will be much straighter. August and September. Okay, so we've got the months here. On this side, we're going to put the numbers. And so all we have to do is look at our chart up here to get our numbers. Okay, so April, we had 14. I don't think we have to write home runs out every time because that's underneath that category. We know that 14 means home runs. So this is a situation where you don't necessarily have to label your answer because the label's up there in the chart category. Okay, June, we had 9. July, we had 7. Good. Okay. August, we had 9. And September, we had 10. Okay, so just by looking at our frequency table, which was Jose's best month? April, right? He had 14 home runs. And then look what happened. In May, he went down to 5. So that makes me wonder, like, what happened between April and May? I wonder, did he work too hard in April? Like, did he overdo it and maybe get an injury and was sore and had to work his way back up? Or did he just have a really lucky day? Maybe in April he was playing some teams with some pitchers that weren't as experienced, and so he was able to really smash those balls out of the park. Okay, so looking at your data in a frequency table helps you compare the data and helps you pay attention and look for patterns. Okay, and that's the whole goal of a frequency table, is to look for patterns in the data and see what is happening and why. All right. I'm going to erase all of this. Oh, I was afraid that might happen. Okay, I'm not going to erase it. I'm just going to move on to the next page. Okay, good. I didn't have to erase it. So this is how they did theirs. They didn't draw the actual boxes. They just made a T-chart, okay? And we've made a T-chart before in science. You just draw like a lowercase looking T, and you put one category here and one here. They didn't put boxes for each one. If I were doing this, I might put lines underneath each one, only because sometimes it's hard to you have to follow where that is. And if there were lines around it, it might be less easy to get them confused or accidentally say, because you might say June was 5 instead of 9 if you were like not looking across perfectly. So sometimes the lines help. I'm also noticing in their example that they did not include a title, and I like to have titles in my frequency tables. Okay, next page. All right, let's complete the frequency table below. So this one, they gave us 3 categories, and so they actually have the categories here. They have tallies here. Now we have to do the numbers. So that should be pretty easy. So how many chocolates were there? 8. This is the same frequency table we did before. What they're doing is they're just putting, actually it's not the exact same because it's different data, but it's the same idea, except instead of having 2 different tables, they represented it this way. So that way it's really easy to see. So tallies is a really fast way to record your answer, and then you put the actual numbers right here. So sometimes frequency tables and tally tables or tally charts are combined. Okay, I'm thinking I'm not gonna fill this one out, only because I'm looking at my time of my screencast, and I'm only allowed 15 minutes of screencast time, and we're at 12:44. But what we would do here is put the title here, put height in inches right here, put put number. Let's see. I'm sorry, let's see. I didn't read the directions. 2 classes in Carter School grew bean plants. The heights of the plants after 6 weeks are shown. The plants were measured to the nearest inch. And so it says to create a frequency table using the data. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm sorry. So we're not really measuring how much it grew. We're measuring how many of them grew that height. So I had it a little bit backwards. But what you would do is you would put bean plant heights. You would put height in inches here and number of plants right here. So you would still go 7, 8, 9, 10, and instead of the tallies, you would put the actual numbers. That's the only thing different you would do there, okay? Now here they have a question. The students in 3 third-grade classes up here recorded the lengths of their shoes to the nearest centimeter. Which frequency table matches the data in the tally table above? Okay, so this one, all we're having to do is match it up. So all of the numbers as far as length in centimeters are the same, so we don't have to look at that because they're all equal. So let's see, 6 and 4 girls, 6, 4, 6, 4. Oh, this one's backwards, so it's not C. We can get rid of that. 5, 4, 5, 4, that's the same. Okay, this is what's going to tell us right here. 20, they have 8 boys, 9 girls. They have 8 boys, 8 girls. So let's see, for 20, we have 8 boys, 9 girls. Okay, so the answer would be A, because this is the correct one that matches the data. All right, we have 30 seconds left, and we're on the last page. Same thing. Which one summarizes the data? So which one has numbers instead of tallies and has it accurately done? Mystery. So we've got 8, 16, 12, 4, 9. 8, not 9, goodness, 11. 8, 16, 12, 4, 11. It's going to be A. All right, that is frequency tables. I'm going to give a warning.